Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules, and it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Stafford on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. He's got his man. This is Doxson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. Tackle made there by Matt Milano. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard, Leopard.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throwing the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Now, check. Patriot, Patriot. Now, let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. And now running right through it. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
No. Check. Patriot, Patriot. Hot. Leopard, Leopard. No. Check. Patriot, Patriot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go on the ground. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ellis. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. It was the free safety, Jordan Poyer, that time there to make the play in coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
On 1st and 10, Stanford. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover it? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves down.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
Well, what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Take four.
Now they try the right side here. Got some room at the 30. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
No, check,
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they try the right side here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Freeman again, a first down carry. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a handoff looking right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And now out come the Bills. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And finding the tight end, Hooper. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big play there just before halftime. 69 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
They get it to him running left. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down. And they'll run it here. forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On second down, here's Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point from McManus is good. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. That's fielded in the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them.
And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Denver. 42 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They're going to look to throw. Sutton drilling it in on the left side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And he'll bang that one through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
On play action, they'll throw. Steps away. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Ellis. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ellis. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3-point.
Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them, likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Out of the gun, Stafford throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it, as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced it. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. Go, 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 go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused. Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes. That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all. And they'll go on the ground. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they try the right side here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Gone!
They'll drop to throw. Fight. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On first down, Stafford here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
All right, now look at 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.